For 14 long years, the Congress went after Narendra Modi, holding him responsible for not doing enough to stop the Gujarat riots. The Congress ecosystem wasn't far behind. It turned the knife in Modi's side by declaring him a bigot and leading campaigns to discredit him. Eventually, the witch hunt ended when the Supreme Court itself gave the then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi a clean chit. Today, viewers, the shoe is on the Congress's foot. Its Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot in Rajasthan is facing tough questions over his own administration's complicity in giving a free run to rioters in Karauli. Yes, viewers. As you know, on Saturday, violent clashes broke out in Karauli in Rajasthan when a bike rally to mark the Hindu New Year was targeted by stone-pelting mobs. For the last 4 days, the state government and the Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot have been blaming the BJP for creating conditions for a communal clash. But today, Times Now brings you evidence that turns this narrative on its head. The two videos that I'm going to show you in just a few moments, viewers, suggest that the police under Gehlot's government abdicated its responsibility of enforcing law and order. Instead, it is seen on camera egging on rioters to flee the spot after unleashing mayhem. See it yourself, viewers, to believe it. Watch these videos. Watch the police abetting the rioters, abetting the riot, the mayhem, the carnage, instead of preventing them and preventing the carnage. Watch, viewers, audio on the tape suggesting the police allowing the rioters a free run. You know what the police is heard saying? Bhag jao. Ab ho gaya. Bhago, bhago, chalo, chalo. Ho gaya. Jo karna tha, kar liya. Zyada mat karna. Riots ho jayenge. Viewers, you will also watch the police standing like bystanders, allowing the mob of one community complete impunity to do whatever they want. And of course, viewers, you will be shocked. Despite prior intelligence available that there was going to be provocation, the police is undermanned. The administration refused to deploy adequate security. First, watch the videos. Video 1, video 2. Listen in. Viewers, even traffic police does better. When they know that an accident is imminent, they step in. Here the police says, go away, no more now. Run, run, go away, it's done. You've done your bit. You've done your pelting. The police should have immediately stepped in, viewers, and arrested these pelters, these provocateurs, these agents of hate. They should have locked them up. But what does the police say? Please leave. There is no one now. The damage is done. You've done enough. Go away. Viewers, remember, one of the principal rioters is a man called Matloob Ahmed. Matloob Ahmed is linked to the Congress party. He supports the Congress in the local parishad. Without his support, the Congress would not have been able to form the board in this parishad. Was he also allowed to go? Now watch video 2, viewers. Watch video 2 and hear very closely what is going on. Let's play out video 2. Now, viewers, the consequence of this license to riot is that several people were injured. Most of them for no fault of their own. They were only celebrating the Hindu New Year. Impunity caught on camera, viewers. Let me quickly take you over what these videos show. The first fact that they establish. Video shows police abetting riots instead of preventing them. This is a major indictment and it's caught on camera. Second fact. Audio on the tape suggests the police allowed the rioters a free hand. Instead of arresting them, they encouraged them to flee, run away without consequence. You riot in this country and the police tell you, koi baat nahi. You've done the deed, now go away. Viewers, think about that. The third fact, which is established because of these videos, the police watching from sidelines while rioters run past them. This is absolute abdication. Again, it's caught on camera. Inadequate police deployment despite prior warning. This is another fact. The police will tell you they couldn't do much because, you see, we were outnumbered. Viewers, why were they outnumbered? The question is, were they told to stand down and allow this mayhem? Maybe because, viewers, one particular party, the party in government, it's only a hypothesis, wanted to appease this rabble. Could this be the reason? That's the fundamental question. We're going to throw this open for debate. Viewers, the Karauli riot videos, that's the hashtag. Share your point of view with us. What do you think happened here? Why did the police allow the rioters a free run? Let me bring in Manashwi Thapar and Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst linked to the Congress party. Manashwi Thapar, you're a political analyst and lawyer, member of the Congress. I want to ask you straight off the bat. You led an inquisition for years against the Modi Gujarat government, talking about abdication. Now here there are two videos and a lot more evidence by the way of eyewitnesses, and I haven't played those, which I will in a short while. Manashwi Thapar, they all establish that the Gehlot government deliberately looked the other way. Why? Did you put appeasement over the need to police a riot? Is that what it's about? And should Mr. Gehlot now quit for having been exposed after trying to blame Modi and Shah for these riots? Simple question to you, Manasvi Thapar.
Rahul, we need to understand what have happened and how are we going to work it out. By blaming what Congress did or what BJP did is not going to give us any kind of solution. We need to have a concluding investigation. Let the investigation be concluded. As of now, 46 people have been arrested, 7 have been detained. Curfew has been extended, so there can be no further mob or clashes in that Karauli region. And more than 1,000 policemen are on ground trying to prevent any kind of further clashes. So this is what the Ashok Gehlot government has done. What has been done?
No. Are you talking about a post facto action? All very well. But look at the devastation. Look at the murderous mobs. Look at the hate that you allowed to flow. This is exactly what you were accusing the BJP of in Gujarat, weren't you? Today you are exposed.
It's a state-sponsored mob. It's a state-sponsored rioting.
I don't know. Should you want me to play out the video again? When the police is telling the rioters to... No, 1 second, to run away without consequence. What does that tell you?
Any kind of conclusions.
Manasvi Thapar, had this happened in Uttar Pradesh, what would you have said? In fact, when a minister's son in a Thar ran over a bunch of farmers, protesting farmers, what did you say? You called for the resignation of the minister and the prime minister, did you not? I'm asking you a question.
Rahul,
at that time, were you saying let's look at it in a larger perspective?
I asked for accountability then. I'm asking for accountability today also.
But who are you asking? The BJP
should be accountable.
Okay, this is what Gehlot said, viewers. He's asking for accountability. Gehlot is asking for accountability from Shah and Modi. I'll play out that for you.
Rahul, we are not on a debate of accountability. Yes,
we are not on a debate for accountability. So people can be given a free run to riot, but we don't want to hold anyone to account.
Let the investigation be over.
Oh, I see. You didn't show that. You didn't show that patience. You were not willing to give that license to the BJP in Uttar Pradesh or Gujarat.
It's not about me giving or not.
It's about your party, sir.
The farmers who were killed.
Right.
It's about them.
Right. Let me bring in the BJP here. I'm not going to hold any brief. I'm going to bring in the BJP. Mr. Poonawala, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, will respond to you. Mr. Poonawala.
You see, Rahul, first of all, I want to congratulate you and particularly your team at Times Now for putting out these 3 videos. These 3 videos are the Karauli files which have exposed INC, Islamo nexus of Congress party. The right to food was given, right to information was given, but first time Congress party has shown that there is something called right to riots also. That means if you belong to a particular community for vote bank politics, you will do abetment of riots for appeasement of votes. This new model of Islamo nexus of Congress has now come out in the open. Instead of saying keep pakdo criminals ko, they are saying bhago, criminals bhago. Instead of calling for backup, they are saying well done, now you can go after doing the riots. Now let us understand what is the genesis of this. The genesis of this Mohalla Jihad, which I say, is the Aurangzebi mindset of the Congress party. And look at the pattern, Rahul, because you and your channel are focused on Rajasthan and what has been happening there for a very long time. You remember the kind of exodus of Hindus that took place from Tonk district. You had covered that very extensively. You had done the Baran riots coverage. You have seen the manner in which today an order has come out where it is being said in the order that we will provide electricity to Rozedars in Ramzan to Muslim dominated areas. They have not said such thing for Navratri or for any other community, but only for Muslims. You have seen the manner in which the Salasar Balaji gate was demolished by the Rajasthan government. You have seen 144 was imposed on Kashmir files so that people could not watch it, so that the truth of the Hindu genocide could not come out. You have seen the manner in which Babulal Vaishnav and other sadhu sons have been targeted in Rajasthan. There is an entire litany of anti-Hindu Aurangzebi mindset that has been on display. Now finally, what is the accountability? They are saying that we will do investigation, wait for the investigation. How can the police, which has been caught with its hands soaked in blood, today be investigating this matter? Mr. Ashok Gehlot, the Home Minister, instead of taking accountability, was blaming the centre for an issue which is entirely law and order of the state. So therefore, today I demand from the BJP's ends that there must be a free and fair independent probe. We cannot rely on the probe done by this, because this police has been responsible for now making sure that the main accused, Mr. Matloob Ahmed, is now absconding. This is Apradhi Bachao of Congress party, and whenever there, and the last fundamental issue, Rahul, we need to discuss on an ideological platform also, that why are these areas of Article 370 being created in places where Congress is in power? Is there going to be no-go zones where if a Hindu says Jai Shri Ram and has taken permission and wants to do Shobha Yatra, PFI can take out a march in Rajasthan for hijab issue and no problem there? But if a Hindu community wants to take out after taking permission and just says Jai Shri Ram, it is such a no-go zone that there will be pathrav. And how did these stones reach on the terrace? How did they suddenly reach so many stones? This means this was sponsored, not spontaneous, organized, not organic, ayojit, not achanak, and therefore I call it a sahyog nahi, ye socha samjha sazishan mohalla jihad ka prayog hai, jisko Congress party ka शासन और प्रशासन समर्थन देता है.
Strong words. 1 second. 1 second. Gentlemen, 1 second. Let me just pull out some more details. Now, this is not the first time, viewers. Jodhpur, April 2019, stone pelting at a Ram Navami procession in Surskagar. Some vehicles were set on fire, and you can see those pictures. A mob stoned houses, clashes with police, injuring 2 in the police station. Very much the same kind of visuals you will see. The charge was the police turned up late despite repeated calls. That happened, and we are talking about April 2019. It escaped most of the national media because most of the national media viewers is invested in a particular narrative. The Latvians media. Jaitram, April 2018. Violence during a procession on Hanuman Jayanti. Stones pelted at a procession from buildings en route. Shops torched after mobs clash, vehicles vandalized. The charge was the police was outnumbered, 10 including cops were wounded. Yes, viewers, once again, no security was provided. Another side got an opportunity, like you have just seen on air right now in these 2 videos. I also want viewers to play out other indications that the administration is not interested in fixing accountability, and there cannot be an independent probe here. Why? Because 4 days on, the crime scene, viewers, has not been secured. Let's play out our correspondent's first walkthrough. Let's play it out.
क्या हुआ था उस दिन, क्या देखा, क्या सुना, क्या लगा?
यहाँ पर हम तो जलूस देखने आते हैं, हर बार आ जाते हैं जब भी कुछ होता है, निकलता है, यात्रा निकलती है। तो जब हम आए तो जोर से धड़ाधड़ की आवाज़ सुनाई दी। फिर हम उस कोने पे पहुंचे तो उन 3 मकानों पे बहुत सारे बच्चे और
अभी मैं खड़ा हूँ एक छत के ऊपर और मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा छत से जो क्राइम सीन के ठीक ऊपर ये वो जिम है जहाँ पर अभी पुलिस मौका मुआयना कर रही है। एफएसएल की टीम भी है, आप देख पा रहे होंगे वाइट शर्ट में एफएसएल की टीम के सदस्य जो हैं वो फोटो खींच रहे हैं। सवाल मैंने वही किया था कि 4 दिन बाद जब सारा कुछ सफाई कर दी गई उसके बाद एफएसएल टीम आई है तो क्या मिलेगा, वो तो आप सोच ही सकते हैं। अब मैं आपको दिखाता हूं कि कितनी तैयारी पुलिस की है। वो पुलिस जो दावा कर रही थी कि हम लोग सचेत हैं, अगर सचेत होते तो पथराव नहीं होता, लेकिन अभी भी कितने सचेत हैं वो मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूं। जरा ईंटों का ये जखीरा देखिए जो अभी भी यहाँ पर रखा हुआ है उसी छत के ऊपर जहाँ से ईंटें बरसाई गई थी। अब जरा थोड़ा सा एक एक छत का नज़ारा मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ कि किस तरह से तैयारियाँ की गई थी। अब जरा उस मीनार के पास से आप देखेंगे, वहाँ मैं अपने विजय दिनेश शर्मा को जरा जूम करके दिखाएं कि किस तरह से ईंटें वहाँ पर रखी हुई हैं और उन्हीं ईंटों का इस्तेमाल उस दिन पथराव के लिए हुआ था। आप देख पाएंगे नीला ढक्कन जो टंकी का दिख रहा है उसके ठीक सामने आप देख सकते हैं कितनी सारी ईंटें और उनका ढेर यहाँ पर पड़ा हुआ है। तो आप अंदाज़ा लगा सकते हैं कि अभी भी पुलिस कितनी सचेत है। क्यों नहीं इनको यहाँ से हटाया गया? क्या अभी भी इंतजार किया जा रहा है कि कोई और ऐसा हादसा पेश आए, कोई और वारदात ऐसी पेश आए जिसमें इस तरह की घटना को अंजाम दिया जाए? हालांकि ये कहा जा रहा है कि शांति की बैठकें हो रही हैं, शांति समिति की बैठक हो रही हैं, लेकिन उन बैठकों से क्या होगा जब पुलिस सजग नहीं होगी? सिर्फ क्राइम सीन पर फोटोग्राफी जरूर कर दी जा रही है, लेकिन आप देखिए ईंटें और पत्थर अभी भी मौजूद है।
The tools that were used, viewers, to spawn and spark rioting are still around, not cleared. Tehseen Poonawalla, video evidence after video evidence, and you're still going to blame Mr. Modi, Mr. Shah at the center when law and order is a state subject, when your own police in uniform is caught on camera abetting this violence.
Good evening, Mr. Shivshankar.
I must ask you this question now because it's been raised. I'm going to paraphrase Mr. Poonawalla, your brother Shehzad Poonawalla, that this appears like a sponsored violent riot.
Good evening, Mr. Shivshankar. Thank you for having me on your show. Good evening to all your fellow panelists. And I hope that since you brought in Shehzad Poonawalla, like you did not interrupt me, but Mr. Thapar was interrupted, I won't be interrupted. I'm going to be very brief in my answer to you. I will answer what Mr. Poonawalla and what you paraphrased very specifically. But before that, congratulations to you and the Times Now team for bringing up this videos. I hope you follow up and you submit these videos in the SIT. Otherwise, it will lead to a narrative that it was hypothetically, in your words, to put one party down, but led to nothing. So do submit it by tomorrow to the SIT. Now let's come to the two points that are being raised. This riot is called the BJP riot, the Bharatiya Jagdalu Party riot. Why? I say this with absolute responsibility because 1 year before any election in the country, whether it was the 2014 election, any in Muzaffarnagar, whether it's Karnataka now, whether it's Kerala, whether it's West Bengal, whether it's now Rajasthan, whether it's Delhi, 1 year before an election, the Bharatiya Janata Party supporters and the PFI supporters get into action, polarize society and create riots, thereby creating a situation for centrist parties like the Congress to go down. This is completely a BJP sponsored riot along with the PFI. And I dare ask you, why is the PFI not being banned nationally? Why is the SDPI, its bank accounts not being freed? It has not been done because they help the BJP, and every time I come on Times Now, PFI is brought up before election. But I have one more point to make about a specific point you made. The councillor who's not from the Congress but supports the Congress is an accused. This shows that the Congress acts without fear or favor and goes after anybody. You will recollect the OAC brothers when they were in alliance with the Congress, spoke derogatory remarks about our Hindu gods and goddesses, and Manmohan Singh and the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister threw them in jail. BJP has never acted against OAC brothers. Now the same yardstick. Adityanath is a riot accused. He withdrew charges on himself as a riot accused. As Supreme Court has charged him. Why is Adityanath ji not called a rioter? That is my limited question. I agree that this PFI agent should be behind bars. Why does the same yardstick not hold for Adityanath ji? Please answer these questions.
Okay, you are asking me questions. I just want to...
Not you, the BJP spokesman.
Yes, I know. I just want to clarify on one thing. If the SIT is really serious, viewers, about probing this dispassionately, they will summon the evidence from Times Now. It's all available. Most SITs do this as a matter of routine. As a matter of routine. Times Now will not become part of an attempt, and this is very, very clear, viewers, of an attempt that is going to be made when we submit these tapes unilaterally of being accused of becoming part of the machinery to go after a government. We're not going to put ourselves in that position because this cuts both ways, viewers. You have had SITs in Gujarat riots and they've gone up to channels and sought sting tapes. So why should there be a different yardstick for Times Now?
Rahul.
1 second. Secondly, viewers, let me make it very clear. If Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla believes that the PFI is such an insidious organization, then why is it given permission in Rajasthan to hold rallies on sensitive issues even after the Supreme Court steps in with a ruling on issues
I'll answer that.
which are, no, 1 second.
Let me answer that specifically.
If the PFI is such a hate-mongering organization that Mr. Poonawalla and his friends in the Congress are upset with it, why doesn't it support the left in Kerala to ban it? Why did Mr. Mevani, who was a Congress candidate in Gujarat, share the stage with the PFI? Why does its own, the Congress's own cadres, share space with the PFI before the last Karnataka elections? So viewers, these are certain facts which I'm presenting, and I can back them up with all the evidence. The behind the scenes tacit understanding between the Congress and the PFI. So today, selectively, Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla wants to castigate the PFI, suggests that it's an agent. It's an agent, viewers, of the BJP, but it gives it all the allowances. There's also a state in which the PFI was banned. That ban was overturned. The government today in that state, viewers, it's Congress government. Has it banned the PFI? No. Has it gone up in appeal? No. This tells you a lot. Nonetheless, I'm going to give it back to Shehzad Poonawalla to answer Tehseen Poonawalla's questions to you.
First of all, Rahul, nobody can be a judge in their own cause. Therefore, this SIT cannot be the ones investigating the kind of disclosures we've seen in the videos about the police. Secondly, as far as PFI is concerned, if you genuinely are for a ban on PFI, why were you giving permission in Rajasthan? Why do you do alliance with them in Bengaluru? When action was taken on them for Bengaluru riots, KC Venugopal said, no, these organizations is not an organization that is involved in riots. It is the Uttar Pradesh Congress Party which defended PFI and PFI accused in the anti-CA riots, even though the Uttar Pradesh government did seek a ban on PFI. And thirdly, please tell me that when a riot or a small incident or a communal incident takes place in any other part of the country, the CM should resign. But when it comes to the Congress Party's government, they say 1 year before BJP has started its actions. How many BJP leaders have been booked? How many BJP leaders you have evidence against? Please submit the evidence to Rahul if there were any BJP leaders involved. But you are admitting that 1 year that you have no control in law and order, that you are unable to maintain law and order, whoever be the rioter. Why haven't you been able to control the riots or the attack on Hindus? This shows that you are unable to run the government and run the law and order, and therefore you come up with these excuses. And by the way, when a riot or a communal incident takes place in a BJP ruled state, the CM must resign. But when 10 biggest riots take place under their watch, the principle changes. Then they say who has done the riots. This is not the excuse that you can have double standards on this.
I would like to answer him. I would like to answer
No, 1 second. Tehseen Poonawalla, Tehseen Poonawalla, my colleague has brought to my attention the fact that Congress leaders met the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Bommai, to demand a ban on the SDPI PFI.
Yeah.
Why did your state government then allow the PFI to hold a rally on the hijab issue? If you know that they are provocateurs for the BJP, were you also polarizing?
Let me answer that specifically. I quote Times of India, 8 March 2022.
No, I'm asking you this question,
I'm
please.
answering your question, quoting Times of India. Fact check me. The Chief Minister of Karnataka says PFI and SDPI will not be banned. Now, my question to you is, despite the Supreme Court judgment, despite the accounts of SDPI being only in the central government hands, why is this terrorist organization not being banned?
Mr. Poonawalla,
to polarize society.
Mr. Poonawalla, the BJP may be complicit or may not be complicit, but why are you? No, 1 second. Why are you in Rajasthan extending this courtesy and this platform to the PFI? That's the question.
They shouldn't. PFI
They shouldn't. They shouldn't, but they are. They shouldn't, but they are. Who is responsible for this?
PFI and RSS.
Well, viewers, remember, law and order is a state subject. The police, on the instructions of Mr. Gehlot, who is the Chief Minister and holds the charge of the home portfolio, can immediately go and arrest PFI cadre. They can lock them up, but they won't. What explains Mr. Mevani, and you haven't denied this, Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla. Mr. Mevani, 1 second, Mr. Mevani, at the height of the campaign in Gujarat, no, 1 second, please, was sharing a stage with the PFI. In Karnataka, sir, in Karnataka, we have visual evidence of the PFI and the Congress holding joint press conferences. Why?
Congress is asking for him to be banned.
No. Congress Home Minister, Mr. Ramalingam had taken off cases of PFI and SDPI. 175 cases under Siddaramaiah government were taken off SDPI, PFI when you were in power in Karnataka. Therefore, it is impossible now because you have to build up the evidence to ban them. You are the ones who withdrew the cases.
What about Sangeet Som? What about Sangeet Som?
Now Sangeet Som is being compared to PFI.
One second. Let me just bring in Ishkaran Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari, Mr. Bhandari, what do these, as an independent observer, as an advocate, 2 points to you. What do these tapes suggest to you? Number 2, are they actionable under law?
Rahul, actually, law and state subject, everybody knows that. So it was amusing to see Prime Minister Modi being blamed for it, but it was ridiculous to see you being questioned for doing your job as a journalist to show the videos. And now it's some onus is cast on you, because if you do not do this onus, then probably you will be blamed for the riots itself. So from amusing to ridiculous have come. But let us deal with the facts here. The fact, we see a striking similarity with Shaheen Bagh, another councillor called Tahir Hussain, whose house had tons of rocks and petrol bumps. And today we see your channel is showing how rocks, how bricks are on the rooftops. How did such a heavy amount of bricks reach it? That prima facie shows a pre-planned. Now, if the answer to that pre-planned conspiracy is the house owners, we know who are the house owners. We know the person who's running away is a councillor, he's linked to Congress. But if at all, let's imagine BJP planted it. Then you have the state police, the state intelligence. Why is every BJP leader who was involved in it not in jail? That's a very simple question, because we know the owners of the house. The names of the owners of the house your channel has gone to would be visible. That is the reality. So how does the weaponry get stockpiled? That is the first question we need to understand. Secondly, when you see a police officer, instead of arresting criminals who are doing writing, are bound to ask the question, why has that not happened? That has not happened probably because the policeman on the ground knows what the government wants. In a different issue, he knows the government says that because it is Ramzan, Muslim bahul ilaqon mein bijli mat kato. But बाकी किसी के लिए order नहीं आएगा. But that is not surprising because the Prime Minister in 2006 had said that Muslims have the first right on resources. So in everything from bijli to resources to application of law and order and arresting of criminals, if this is the ideology you follow, then you will see policemen on ground pleasing his masters, and that is leading India into disaster.
Appeasement is allowing for hate to take root under Mr. Gehlot's watch. The videos seem to be suggesting this. Dr. Raman, are you still going to blame Modi?
Rahul, because I haven't spoken so far. Point number 1, I find it bizarre that you actually state that you have these videos as evidence, but you will hand it over to the SIT only if they ask for it. So if the SIT does not ask for it, it becomes very convenient to then say that the state government was not even interested in the evidence. By all logical explanation, it is the duty of the channel to hand over this evidence, quote unquote evidence, assuming that these videos are the unedited versions and so on, to the SIT. Where is the question of, saying that we will wait for the SIT to ask us? Second, I also want to ask you to please count the number of debates that we've all been on over the last 5, 6, 7 years on this ban on the PFI. The PFI has become an extremely convenient organization for the BJP to sort of put blame on whenever it is required. But they won't do anything at the center to ban this organization. Why not the Karnataka government take that step? Why not the Kerala government, wanted a ban on PFI? What is preventing the center from banning this organization?
Right.
Instead of getting media channels to constantly sort of use them as a bogeyman for political mileage? I fail to understand this. In this case also, this video, first of all, what the policeman actually meant in those videos, who was he referring to, all of it is very important for the investigation. What did he say? Why did he ask them to run away? Who was he asking to run away? Were those people actually involved in the rioting? So all of these are important for the investigation, and I find it amazing. That you say you will not hand over the video to the SIT, but you are quite happy to put it out on national television. And
Dr. Raman, let me since you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, let me tell you who shot these videos. It's the police themselves. Viewers,
sir,
one minute, let me finish. Mr. Dr. Raman, look, I know your proclivities to the Congress and all of that. That's fine. I'm very well aware of that. But listen to me. Can you give me 30 seconds?
Yes, please.
Yeah, listen to me. The duty of the channel is to expose the facts, to bring them out in the public domain.
Yes.
Viewers, we didn't shoot these videos. The police of Rajasthan shot these videos. They have these videos. Is it my job to file FIRs, or it's the police's job to file FIRs? Is it my job, viewers, to file an FIR? No, it's not. The police has this evidence of its own complicity. Who is going to, one minute. Am I the Chief Minister of Rajasthan? I would love to be. All of this would not happen under my watch. But listen to me, viewers. The Chief Minister, the government of Congress. 1 minute please allow me to finish. I never shouted over you, sir. I didn't interrupt you. Show me the courtesy. You asked me several questions. I'm only pointing out to you the facts. Okay. So let me point out the facts. Number one, the Chief Minister has been asked a question on this. Viewers, we haven't got a response. The Congress party has taken cognizance of these tapes. If they feel that they're worthy evidence, and if they're interested, viewers, in seeing justice being done, they just have to issue a show cause to the police that is filming it to submit this material. They will know which policeman has filmed this and why were they. You know, viewers, we have videos. 1 minute. We have videos, viewers, of complicity. The Indian state has videos of complicity of Pakistan in terror attacks. We wait, the government waits for the courts to ask them, the ICJ, to submit those videos. I cannot believe tonight, viewers, that Times Now is being thought to be an investigating agency. We do our jobs. We brought out the truth. Suman C. Raman, if you are so moved by the truth, why don't you suo moto? Take action, file a complaint, and you can have the videos as evidence.
I didn't put out the videos.
There you go. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I only sit on national TV and provide a fig leaf to defend the indefensible. That is what Dr. Raman does on a nightly basis. Yes.
Yeah, you know, the role of a responsible government in power, Mr. Raman, I did not interrupt you. I understand you need to defend the indefensible night after night, but let me ask you a few questions. My simple point is, Mr. Raman, here the police is indicting itself by its inaction, perhaps complicity to a large extent. The same police is investigating the case. Would you not have a basic expectation of a government that is saying that it is committed to the cause of rule of law to take this video and to submit it to ensure that there is a free and fair probe? So you are saying don't expect even the basic from the Gehlot government. The Gehlot government will watch away as riots take place, as Hindus are targeted, and even when the evidence has been put out in black and white, it will not have the common courtesy to take that evidence and take action against the guilty hearing officers. This is your expectation of Gehlot government, that the Times Now channel should go and arrest Matlub Ahmed. Is that your expectation? Now Rahul Shivshankar should leave his anchoring and she should run after Matlub Ahmed. The Rajasthan police should do nothing. This is the problem. And I would request you, Mr. Raman, today the Rajasthan police is in no position to inquire into this. There should be a free and fair probe. There should be an independent probe.
On an issue of fact, viewers, and you can check this. Live law. 1 minute. 1 minute, sir, please. अरे सुन तो लीजिए डॉक्टर साहब, आप कितना डॉक्टरिंग करेंगे? सुन तो लीजिए. Live law is a very well respected, website that covers the courts. Now viewers, this is what Mr. Sibal said to the Supreme Court. SIT ignored Tehelka sting tapes in Zakia Jafri's case. It's a headline. Though they were accepted by the court in Narodia Patia case, Sibal to Supreme Court. This was one of Ace Congress lawyers, senior leader, saying this in the Supreme Court. This dateline is 11/11/2021, barely 4 months back, viewers, 5 months back. They weren't telling Tehelka, go, run right now to the SIT and submit these tapes. Any SIT, viewers, would summon, in the interest of justice, the evidence. Here the Congress is blaming the SIT for not doing its job. And here, viewers, this is the Sibal character doing it. And here we have the Tehseen Poonawala, who is asking us to do the job of the SIT. Shocking double standards. Shocking. Shocking, viewers. I rest my case. I don't need to say much more. I don't need to say much more. These individuals are going to create obstacles. Yes, yes, Ishkaran Bhandari, you want to come in, you're raising your hand. Yes, go ahead.
Want to give the tapes to the SIT.
They'll ask for it,
Mr. Raman, don't worry, as an opposition party, even though the government of Rajasthan has abdicated from its role, as an opposition party, we will be taking up these tapes. Please don't worry, we will be taking up these tapes in the assembly, in the court of law, and more importantly, in the court of the people. Now you can be happy that these tapes will be reaching their rightful conclusion. But now you tell us, why is the government not taking it up? Why is the government running shy? The government is running shy because this is a sponsored violence against Hindus. It is not spontaneous, it is sponsored.
Before the investigation is complete.
The SIT is meaningless. The SIT under Ashok Gehlot's watch is meaningless. We need a free and fair independent probe, and that's where these videos will go. Please do not think that we are going to give these videos to the same Rajasthan police which has been caught with its hand in the cookie jar.
Remember, viewers, remember in the Hathras case, in the Lakhimpur Kheri case, this was the same opposition that said that an SIT set up by the UP government cannot be trusted with an investigation. Today they are saying that Rajasthan SIT will do a great job, when the police itself, viewers, is complicit. Don't block, don't arrest rioters. They're saying it on camera. Yes, Mr. Ishkaran Bhandari.
Allegedly. You didn't use the word allegedly.
Now it's a question to me. Let me speak, and then you can come in. Rahul, as I said, they have developed the habit of not blaming Congress. From Prime Minister to Rahul Shivshankar, everybody is to be blamed for the law and order and the investigation. By that logic, Mr. Raman as well as Mr. Poonawala, who are on, they can write to the SIT if they think this video is so important, saying that this video has played and that should be taken cognizance of. But they will not do, because their only interest here is to raise doubts on any the video. They are equally entitled to write to the SIT with these videos if they want to. So I hope Dr. Raman or I hope Tehseen will do that. Why don't they? They can say we were sitting on a debate. It came to our knowledge that we have certain video and this video should be taken cognizance of. And you write to the SIT, but you will not apply the same logic on yourself. You will only apply the Rahul Shivshankar. You are not interested in justice.
No, in Lakhimpur matter, they didn't want the videos to be given by media. They wanted SIT to take cognizance of the videos. In Lakhimpur matter, I remember Sumansi Raman. No, 1 second, Mr. Raman, stop spin doctoring. In Lakhimpur matter, when multiple videos came out, your expectation was that all the agencies should take cognizance. There you did not say TV channels should go and submit. Your favorite YouTubers should go and submit. You were happy to allow the YouTubers video to be taken cognizance by SIT.
Anyhow, you know
but
what
today,
I'm glad about?
SIT should not do anything.
You know what I'm glad about? Viewers, before I take a short break, what I'm really glad about is no one is questioning the veracity of the video. They've accepted it as the truth. The fact is that these individuals now think that the same SIT that has been set up by elements of the state that is complicit, and it looks like it. I can't say for sure, but it looks like it appears so. In a cover-up, is going to investigate. Look at the logic, viewers. Remember what they asked for in Gujarat, an SIT monitored by the Supreme Court. Here, monitored by Gehlot. Gehlot was blaming Modi for law and order in his state. Viewers, something is very rotten in the state of Rajasthan. I'll take sensational exclusive video evidence accessed by Times Now suggests that in the Karauli riots, the police gave a free run to the rioters, encouraging them not just to flee the scene, but also abetting in the rioting. Watch these two videos, viewers, as this story is creating massive political ripples across the nation. Watch the videos. Mr. Poonawalla, Tehseen Poonawalla, the videos only add to the growing speculation that the Congress government might in fact be complicit in the Karauli violence. On Monday, it became clear that the main accused in the riots conspiracy, the local councillor who supports the Congress, his name is Matloob Ahmed. Despite eyewitnesses confirming that Matloob Ahmed was leading the mob, he's untraceable. He supports the Congress in the Parishad in Karauli. Perhaps like many of the rioters on video who were allowed to flee, Matloob Ahmed may also have been allowed to escape the scene of the riots. Under these circumstances, can we trust the Gehlot government to investigate independently, freely and fairly?
Absolutely, you can trust them. There is no judicial order against the Gehlot government like there was in the case of Ajay Mishra Teni and Ashish Mishra. And Mr. Poonawalla was talking about the videos of Ashish Mishra Teni. Let me tell him that his government in Uttar Pradesh filed a complaint against me on tweeting the video of Ashish Mishra Teni running over the farmers. And I submitted the video and it turned out to be true. So please, Mr. Poonawalla, don't come here and half-baked facts. But most importantly, if this councillor who's only supporting the Congress means the entire Congress government is complicit in the riots, then why does the same yardstick not hold for Aditya Nath, who's a riot accused and has withdrawn cases? Nobody's answering that question. So answer this question. Aditya Nath is a riot accused. Why is he Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh? Why don't you demand his resignation? Why have I never heard his resignation on any of the channels? Why?
Okay, now can I answer this question?
Of course,
now,
go ahead.
When he said that there is no court order or observation against Gehlot, therefore he is clean and pure, then what is the observation or any kind of investigation on Mr. Yogi Adityanath ji for whatever you are saying that he has removed his cases?
Let me correct you.
No. 1 second. First of all, so let
him finish. He didn't interrupt you. Let him finish.
Let's have the same standard. Secondly, what you see today is that One is Matloob Ahmed is absconding, police is abdicating, and Gehlot is prevaricating. Today the question is only this, that why hasn't the Gehlot government, they have not contradicted and said these videos are not authentic. This means that if on the television channel, which is the most watched news channel of India, if it has been playing for so many hours and the police or the Rajasthan government hasn't contradicted, this means these tapes are authentic. Now why isn't action being taken? This is because they want to provide protection, and all Islamic attacks and jihad against Hindus have always got protection from Congress party, from Kashmir files to Karauli files. Look at the pattern. Every time there is an attack on Hindus, the Congress party is at the forefront of defending the attackers.
Okay.
And therefore today again you saw the police saying bhag jao. The people of Rajasthan will tell your government to bhag jao, Rahul, because of this complicity that has been taking place.
Gentlemen, Mr. Poonawala's, 1 second please. I need to move on. You guys can keep, one second. You guys can keep crossing swords after we've done our job, we've exposed. We are hoping now for a response from Mr. Gehlot. The clock is ticking. The police has not come out and contradicted this evidence. No one from the Congress party has challenged it. Viewers, silence also means acceptance at one level. And if this is the case, are we going to see action being taken against this police force, which looks to be abetting in a very heinous act, criminal act, caught on camera?